So I am currently bricking it because they're about to put me in this thing. Up there, a little cage. The things I do for video content. This might be how I die. Oh! Today I want to talk to you about a very interesting skyscraper. Now I know, looking at those buildings behind me, you might be thinking that I'm having you on. But trust me, this is no ordinary structure.
It's the way this tower is being constructed that makes it different from any normal building.
The innovation I've come to see is shaking up how skyscrapers are being built all around the world. And it's being used here, in a city that's not exactly known for building tall.
Places like London and Frankfurt might have a much better reputation for this kind of thing, at least in Europe. But Austria's capital could be about to show them how it's done. Opera houses, art galleries and museums. They're the type of buildings that most people would associate with Vienna. But as grand as many of them are, none of them are what you might call high-rise.
But down by the Danube, some notable exceptions have been springing up. Rising to a height of 202 metres, the Millennium Tower became the tallest building here by far when it completed in 1999. And it would go on to hold that title for 15 years. Until this came along. The 220-metre DC-1.
Designed by French architect Dominique Perrault and combining offices, apartments and a hotel, DC-1's been a prominent feature of Vienna's skyline for some time. The tower completed in 2014 and was unveiled at a ceremony attended by Perrault, as well as US astronaut Buzz Aldrin and former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani. We're not entirely sure why.
But forget about DC-1, because it's actually this building I've come to see. It might not be as tall as its big brother, but like many little siblings, it's finding ways to make its presence felt.
First off, there was the massive excavation that had to be carried out right in the heart of the city's new landmark district. One reason for such a major dig was to create space for the tower's 5 basement floors. Teams from civil engineering contractor PERI Group had to give the skyscraper an unusually deep foundation, going more than 22 metres below ground.
In fact, the surrounding buildings and infrastructure made this a very difficult site to put a building that big on. You've got 2 huge high-rises either side, a rail line, and hardly any space for construction access or to get big bits of equipment in like cranes.
That presented a number of difficulties for S&B Group, the project's developer, general contractor and planning company, for the German real estate fund Commerz Real.
Well, the most challenging phase was the foundation works, because we are surrounded by a highway access road, by a huge bridge which spreads across the Danube River, underground facilities, and we are slightly above the highway system.
Wir haben bei der Bodenplatte an sich rund 10.000 Kubikmeter Beton eingebaut und 2.500 Tonnen Stahl, was man vergleichen kann in etwa mit einem Rohbau für eine Wohnhausanlage mit 150 Wohnungen, wurde bei uns nur in der Bodenplatte verbaut.
By mid-2023, the civil engineers at PERI Group were done putting in the subterranean sections as well as that 4-metre thick floor slab. It was then over to the firm's structural engineers to begin assembling DC2's 53 floors level by level.
So we are currently in a scaffold lift going up the side of DC2, one of the tallest new buildings being built in Vienna right now. We're heading up about 40 stories into the mist. I'm quite thankful it's a bit misty today because it kind of slightly obscures the scale of the drop.
The first challenge was to make a strategy for the core. That's the central element that provides structural supports while also housing the elevators, stairs and other services. To keep everything steadily moving upwards while the walls, floors and columns all followed behind, a rail climbing system or RCS from PERI was used. Covering 2.5 floors at a time, it's a kind of movable platform that serves 2 very important purposes.
First off, it acts as formwork for casting the concrete that this building's core is made out of. You can see that going up behind me here. Secondly, if you look over here, it creates a wall of protection. When you're this high up, you've got high winds, rain, all sorts of weather coming at you. So this helps create a more enclosed space for crews up here. It keeps them more protected from those elements so they can get on and build this tower up into the sky.
When a section is complete, the entire system is able to jump upwards thanks to inbuilt hydraulic jacks guided on rails. It allows the process of forming each floor, which takes around 5 days, to be repeated all the way up, reducing the need for cranes. But building skyscrapers is about more than just the core, which is why PERI's Maximo and Quattro formwork were brought in to construct the columns, and skydeck panels were used for the ceilings and floors, supported by PERI up-reinforcement scaffolding.
So under my feet is going to be a new concrete floor slab. This is basically the latest level of this building they're constructing right now. You can see the formwork is in, and then on top of that, you can see these steel reinforcement bars, this cage that's being constructed. This is going to sit inside the concrete once it's poured to help give the building some more strength and rigidity. And it's fascinating to see this. You can see the preparation that's going in. And this is what's happening all the time, level by level up through this building. Formwork in, steel rebar in, concrete poured, concrete sets, formwork off, up you go to the next level. And when it's time to move those materials up to the next level, this came in handy. It's a special new hoist, innovated by PERI, that can move people and materials up and down those last few floors of the building where all the action's happening. And crucially, it helps these guys avoid having to book time with the building's busy tower cranes, meaning they can get things done faster and more efficiently.
This marks the first time that the elevator's been deployed on a project, and it's capable of serving up to 6 floors at a time, including level 43, which just happens to be the very top of the tower during the moment of my visit. And that's where I'm heading right now.
So I'm now just a couple of levels higher than I was a moment ago, on literally the very highest point you can currently reach in this building. This huge blue arm you can see here is what's bringing concrete up to the top of this building. So down beneath me, concrete is pulled in, pulled up the top of this building, pumped up to here. It comes out this blue hose and is used to fill that formwork with concrete, the core, the slabs, to build this building step by step.
Yeah, well, it's key to a skyscraper that you can grow quite rapidly and concrete the floors on a weekly basis. And the systems of PERI helped us with the interconnections of pillars and also in combination with the climbing system of the scaffolding works to optimize the whole project.
Advanced tech isn't just being used in the construction phase either. There are some innovative touches planned for the building's exterior too. Its facade is going to be covered with photovoltaic elements that allow it to generate energy from its exterior. No other skyscraper in Europe can do that yet. That's pretty impressive, but right now I'm still stuck up in the clouds at the top of this building. I've been offered a quicker way down that's a lot more low-tech, but also a lot more terrifying.
So I am currently bricking it because they're about to put me in this thing. Up there, a little cage. The things I do for video content. Looks like we're going shark diving. This might be how I die. Oh my god. Oh my god, look out there. Oh no! Don't walk around! It's terrifying. Oh, sorry. Oh, I can't look over the edge. Why is it shaking so much? I can't wait to get off this thing. It's like the worst ride. I would like to get off these. Oh, sweet Moses. Absolute madness. It's nearly over. Never again. It's a stupid thing to do. Oh, thank God it's over.
You want to go up again or we stay here?
When it completes in 2026, DC2 is going to become the final part of a huge new district under construction here in Vienna, one that it gets its name from, Donau City. Since the early 90s, this whole area has been regenerated. There's been new developments here taking shape. And it's all happening on a part of Vienna that used to be considered, well, quite literally rubbish.
It was once a landfill site, and later the site of an international expo that never actually happened. Then the growing city found it needed a new modern district where people could live, work and shop all in one place. Planners realised that an area that had been historically neglected actually had quite a bit of potential. But there would have to be a centrepiece, a gateway to it all that could be seen from a distance. A design competition was announced in 2002 and PERI's firm emerged as the winner. His idea was to have two towers that resemble a giant monolith broken into unequal pieces. Almost a decade passed before construction began on DC1, with its companion due to rise not long afterwards. But following comments from Vienna's advisory board for urban planning and urban design, DC2 went through a redesign that meant it no longer matches the first tower. Despite this, the move gave an opportunity to introduce new features that wouldn't have been possible before.
So now we are able to have balconies and loggias surrounding the building from floor number 1 to the top floor, and we are very happy with the redevelopment.
While this change of plan will see the building open its doors much later than originally planned, the tower is now set to be taller as a result. Back when it was first put forward, DC2 was due to offer 44 floors across a 160-metre height, so it would have barely qualified as a skyscraper.
It may not be what the architects originally imagined, and a new cluster of skyscrapers in a place like this is always going to take some getting used to. But there have been very few teething issues with the construction of this building. Once I got over that myriad of challenges in the ground, it's been pretty plain sailing, and the tower is now racing ahead to completion, giving this city the new skyline it's waited years for.
Ist es schon interessant, wenn man dann oben im 35. Stockwerk steht und hinausschaut und denkt, ja, das haben wir errichtet, das ist ein Teil von uns. Ja. Auch dieser Stahlbau, der sich in den Untergeschossen befunden hat, ist nichts Alltägliches und für uns schon was Besonderes, für mich auch was Besonderes gewesen. Ja.
We are proud of the whole project itself because when we finalized the building for residential users, they have the possibility, like living 150 meters above soil, opening the doors, catch some fresh air and enjoy the marvelous view on Vienna.
This video was sponsored by PERI. You can learn more about that at the link below.
And as always guys, if you enjoyed this video and you want to get more from the definitive video channel for construction, make sure you're subscribed to the B1M.